Hello and welcome. In this set of slides, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the structure of a paragraph. Now, what you're going to be looking at when you're looking at the structure of a paragraph is slightly different from structuring a whole essay. In which case, you're still building an argument, but what you're doing is you are basically organizing your points in such a way where they make sense. And the best part about making sense is your markers know exactly what it is you're trying to say. So your paragraphs must be arranged in such a way that the meaning you give is quite clear. And now this isn't necessarily a particular order as much as it is a chain of ideas that go from one to the next to the next. So really it should just flow together as a nice seamless wave. Just think of waves crashing at a beach. That's what you're going for. You're going for something that it just keeps on flowing very nicely until it just hits its point home. That's it. And really, that's at the heart of really what everything you're trying to do achieve in writing an essay. But it's the simplest way to get your point across, and by doing so, what you're basically saying is, I understand what it is I'm talking about, I can organize what it is I'm saying, and that I've done enough planning to make this possible. So let's just go straight into it. Topic sentences. Okay, you'll have a topic sentence to start each paragraph you write. It's the first thing you'll do. And they must be short and simple. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that they need to be big, long-winded things where you explain everything. That's what the rest of your paragraph is for. They work like tabs in a binder, and basically what that means is in each tab of your binder, you've got a group of things that are related to each other, and that's what your paragraph is. It's a group of ideas that are related to each other. And by doing that, it allows basically whoever's marking to go back over it and say, yes, you've done that, you've answered that part of the question, very good. Now, an example of this might be, for instance, bats and nocturnal creatures, which is essentially saying this is a paragraph that answers the part of the question about bats being active at night. And if you've got a question asking for that, then that introduction to your paragraph about bats being nocturnal is basically straight to the point. And this is what a topic sentence is trying to do. It's something which is basically your discussion and things that trail on from that should be trying to justify your topic sentence. Okay, now another reason for a simple topic sentence is for teachers, for us, markers, who have to mark your work. If you write something that's very confusing or overcomplicated, or you're not 100% sure what it is you're writing, and so you just put down whatever comes to your mind. One of the things about a simple topic sentence is if I read that at the beginning and then the rest of your writing is gibberish, at least I know you're trying to connect it to that idea that you had in your simple topic sentence. If you write this big long-winded thing and then slowly try and get to the point by the end, I'm already completely lost. There's no point trying to find someone again when they're already lost. You might as well try and get them to know where they're going to begin with, and that way if they do get a little bit lost, they can go back to where they started from. So having a nice simple topic sentence will allow you to do that. It will bring clarity to your work. So basically by having those bookends of the things that you've covered in the question, and your topic sentences literally will be addressing a separate part of the question, then what you're doing is you're essentially making your work a little bit clearer. And it's a very simple way to make your work just that tiny bit clearer. It is a way that when you go back over your work, you can have a look at each topic sentence you write and immediately, without having to read it, know that you're helping to answer the question. You're ensuring you've answered it. So it essentially works like, as I said before, those tabs in a binder. If you look at each of those sections, you should be able to look at something that's completely answered the question, and does so in such a way that not only can you pick that up, but other people can pick that up too. Now, discussion and evidence, this is where a lot of people come unstuck, and this is the hardest bit. It's the really tricky part. But basically, as I said before, the idea of your discussion and your evidence is to prove your topic sentence correct. So everything you're writing in your discussion and in your evidence is trying to back up your topic sentence. It's not your topic sentence introducing what your discussion and argument is going to be about. All right, and the reason for that is because you're sticking to a couple of key words. So by doing so, you're basically going back and forth to the heart of the issue. And your evidence, as I said, is one of the things that backs it up. Now, they don't have to go in an order of discussion or evidence or discussion. They can go however you need to do it. as long as I said, they relate back to the topic sentence, and as long as you do use both of them. So discussion is the point which elaborates. It's the one that gives you the detail, and your evidence should be your proof. So really it should cover, by the end of that paragraph, everything that you raised in your topic sentence and explained it in such a way where you've covered virtually all of the ground you can. That makes it airtight. It makes it something which you can't escape from being, at least by your definition, correct. So let me give you an example of that. Let's go back to our bats again. Bats are nocturnal creatures. That was our topic sentence from before. Very simple, addresses the issue. The evidence for that, and I was starting with this first. Bats are nocturnal creatures. Animal Journal's study of bats found that at night they look for food and potential mates. So this is immediately going straight to the evidence which has found that, which is by Animal Journal. I would also put down a page number where I got it from as well. Then, by conducting all of their activities at night, the only possible conclusion is that bats are nocturnal creatures. Now, this is your discussion that you've added to your evidence. Now, this may be a very simple example, but it's still just as effective as virtually any other you'll come across. Nice simple topic sentence, you go straight into your evidence that proves your topic sentence correct, and then you're discussing exactly in complete detail why your evidence is correct, not just assuming that because of the fact that they look for food and potential mates at night, they are nocturnal creatures. But by doing all their activities at night is the way that you prove it. So your elaboration there is helping your proof, which is helping your topic sentence. And all those things work together in such a way that basically you're making it airtight. There's no other explanation for their activities being at night than they are nocturnal creatures. Very simple to do. And it's very effective, as I said. Now, finishing a paragraph is where, again, some get a little stuck on where to go next. But it's basically the point where your argument is either justified or it's expanded. So, either A, you prove that your discussion evidence matches the topic sentence in question. Now, this is a nice little trick that you can use, which is if you've in an exam and you think like you've written a really, really badly written paragraph, and you're aghast at yourself and you're going, oh my God, what did I do? Then what you can do in your final sentence of your paragraph is reread what you've written, and rather than putting a big X through it like a lot of people do, what you can do is say, okay, I'm going to pick this, I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to say because this means this, my topic sentence is correct. Now, that might not necessarily make it the strongest argument in the world, but what it does do is it allows you to basically rescue what it is that you've written and to convert those words which are very badly written into words which make some sense, which put all the pieces together basically. Or the other thing you can do is lead into the next main point. And what your next main point is might be something that's related to that point you just made, or you might just find that you've got a very convenient point where you can jump to your next one. And it just seems to flow like they're almost exactly the same. And by doing that, you're coming up with, as I said, a very cohesive argument which continues to build and evolve the entire way through. But obviously, you'll be starting with your main one first, and then you'll be going on and continuing to prove them as you go along with each paragraph that you do. But that's basically it. That's the heart of what you'd be looking for when you're looking at how a paragraph is structured. And it's very important to pay attention to that, because the more deliberate you are with your paragraphs and the more you're not just throwing in random things, the better your essays will sound, the better marks you'll get, and the better it will show that you understand the material, even if you don't necessarily understand it. And that's a great thing. Great writers of essays can often make up for the fact that they don't really understand much of the text that it is that they're studying, or much of the topic that they're talking about. There'll be enough marks in the technical side of things that you'll actually be able to get a whole heap of marks by not even reading the book, by making things up, by spinning a very good web of lies, essentially. And that's basically it. So otherwise, there's not much else really to tell about essay writing, or at least the structure of a paragraph. So until I see you next time, I'll see you later.